yoga. And we're going to start by getting centered. So please slide to the back of your chair, uncross your legs, have both feet flat on the ground. And you could sit up tall, or you could just relax back if you want to. Do whatever is going to feel good for you in this moment. It might have been a long week, even though it was a short week, it might have been a long week still. And let your eyes close. And as the eyes close, take a deep breath in and out, really just inviting your awareness of the breath to be a part of this experience. Aware of your inhale and aware of your exhale, just settling in, starting to turn off the awareness of anything that's going on for you and tuning into, a more peaceful, centered state of being. And one of my favorite ways to connect to the idea of groundedness and stability and centeredness is just through the fact that there's gravity. Your feet are on the ground, your seat's in your chair, and you're just being held. No more moving around, no more running from this task to the next one. Really just feeling yourself rooted, connected, and supported just by the sheer force of gravity. That deep support from underneath you. And we do spend quite a bit of time in our lives trying to avoid gravity, moving around a bunch. There's a comfort in just being able to come back to it and just allow it to just hold you. So we'll take just a few more breaths in this awareness. And anytime you're feeling unstable, anytime you're feeling like you just don't have the support you need, get still and just drop in to your awareness of gravity. For now, I'll have you take a deeper, fuller breath and slowly let the eyes open, bringing yourself back to the space around you. Welcome back. Hello, new folks who have joined. And we're going to start today with our feet and knees in the wider position. And so just a little bit wider than your shoulders, heels stacking underneath the knees and toes pointing outward. This just creates a nice stable stance so that if we start to go from side to side, which is actually what we're going to be doing, we won't fall over. Now, as we start to move, if that doesn't feel stable, you can either narrow or widen your feet even more. Okay, so this is kind of just a general placement. But have your hands on top of your thighs or knees, become aware of your spine. And these are called spine sways. And so you're just going to lean to one side, going as far as you can, and then roll back up, and then lean to the other side. And then just keep moving from side to side on the spine. Breathing as you do so. And this can be a very exaggerated movement. It could also be a smaller movement, really just whatever feels right for your body right now. Do breathe. You can let the head lag a little bit. An image that's sometimes used for this exercise is like a blade of grass or wheat blowing in the wind. And for our purposes today, we're just starting to warm up the spine a bit. Also warming up the lateral muscles of the body. And there's also a little bit of core engagement here. So it's the muscles that keep you from really just toppling over. And a way to engage that a bit more is to make sure those two hip bones stay rooted on your chair the entire time. And we'll continue to sway for just a little bit longer. You might even notice after having done this several times that your range of motion starts to increase. You can go a little bit further than you did before. Maybe, and maybe not. A couple more times. Good. And then go ahead and zip the spine up tall. And you can keep the knees right where they're at. We're going to do some spinal flexes now. So with your inhale, roll the shoulders down the back, turn the heart to look up, then exhale, round the shoulders, look down. Inhale, open back up, turn the chest toward the ceiling, and exhale, widen the upper back, looking down at your lap. And then just continue to move on your breath. Inhale, opening up, and exhale, rounding. Inhale, opening up, and exhale, rounding. Keep going. And just like the spine swaying from side to side, after you do this a few times, your range of motion might change, it might increase. It's okay if that's not the case. Just keep moving, keep warming up the spine here. And these spinal flexes, we usually do these in every class. And one of the reasons why is that they help to counterpose the act of hunching over, which happens a lot when we sit. The core collapses, the shoulders round forward, and it just helps to bring some counter movement to that habitual stance that we have. So with that in mind, we'll do it about 3 more times. Good, and then go ahead and bring yourself to a nice tall spine. Good, and feel sensation. We've moved the spine from side to side. We've moved it in a flexion forward and back a bit. And now the spine is interesting. It's an interesting part of the body because there's so many ways it can move and can be flexible. And so the next way that we're going to warm it up is by twisting the spine. So you can actually bring your knees closer together, about hip width apart, heels stacking underneath. Good. Then inhale, lift your arms up and overhead. With your exhale, take your left arm forward, your right arm behind you, and twist, looking behind you. Then inhale, come back to center, lift the arms up, and we'll go the other way. Exhale, twist, right arm forward, left arm back. Inhale, unwind. And let's go in that first direction, left arm forward. Inhale, come back, twisting in the other direction, right arm forward. And we're going to do this about 3 more times. Keep moving on your breath, just switching which side you're twisting to each time. Inhale, unwinding. Exhale, twisting. Just waking up the spine a little bit here. It's Friday. We've been working hard all week, getting tired. Let's bring some energy to the spine. Good, let's do one more time on each side with the movement. And the next time you twist, taking your left arm forward, go ahead and stay in the pose. Left arm forward, right arm behind you. And the left hand can come to the outside of the right thigh. The right hand can come onto the chair back behind you or the chair cushion next to you. But holding the twist, sit up just a little bit taller, feel the spine lift. And then exhale, roll the right shoulder back a little bit more. Again, looking behind you and breathe. Now, as we hold this pose just a little bit longer, there's a stretch that we can do for the neck here. So keep the right shoulder guiding back as much as possible. And keep it anchored there, and then turn your chin to look forward over your left shoulder. We'll stay for just another breath or so. Now, before we unwind, look behind you first. And then with an inhale, unwind back to center. Good. Notice sensation again, especially since we've only done the twist holding on one side. Probably feels really important to do the other side, so why don't we go ahead and do that, all right? So lift the arms overhead, reach up, inhale, and then exhale, take the right arm forward, left arm behind you. The right hand come to the outside of the left leg. The left hand can be on the chair back behind you or the chair cushion next to you. But holding the pose, sit up a bit taller. Feel the spine grow. And then exhale, roll the left shoulder back a bit more, looking behind you. Twist, twist, twist. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Then staying in the twist. So keeping that left shoulder guiding back as much as you can. Turn your chin to look forward over your right shoulder. Breathe. About one more breath. Now, again, before you unwind, look behind you again. And then inhale, unwind the entire spine all together. Welcome back. Good. So after that asymmetrical twisting, let's go ahead and just do a forward fold. So just take the hands on the thighs, take a deep breath in, sit up, and then just drape the body down over the thighs. Your hands can stay on the thighs or you can hang them toward the floor. Let's stay here for just a moment or so. Good. And then go ahead and bring yourself back up to a tall seat. Wonderful. We're going to do a bit more work for the spine and to lengthen the sides of the body. So please bring your knees into the wider stance once again. So just a bit wider than your shoulders. Again, heels stacking underneath the knees and toes pointing outward. Good. And then take your left forearm, just kind of lean down. Just gonna take a load off, just lean over onto your left leg for a moment. Your right hand can be on the right thigh or hip. Take a deep breath in, feel the spine lengthen, and then exhale, roll the right shoulder back. So it's kind of like a bit of a twist here. Good. Now, keeping this posture intact, the right shoulder rolling back, even looking to your right slightly, go ahead and lift your right arm up and overhead, like you're trying to reach over your left foot. Breathe here. Big energy reaching through the fingertips, and also feel your right hip grounding onto your chair. One more breath here. And then with an inhale, release that right arm and sit up tall. Again, notice sensation, especially the difference between the left and right sides of your body. You might kind of feel hunchy here, and we're going to balance that out. So go ahead and bring your right forearm down onto your right thigh. Left hand on the hip or the thigh. Take a deep breath in. Feeling the spine elongate. Exhale, roll the left shoulder back, looking behind you. Good, and then stay in the posture. Keep the pose intact. Keep the left shoulder rolling backwards, and then sweep the left arm up and over, reaching over your right foot, or at least in that direction. And again, as you reach, keep the left hip grounding on the chair. Big length on that left side. Deep breaths, please. And we'll stay for just a couple more breaths. Good. And then inhale, release the left arm, come back up to a tall spine. And so we're going to move through those last two postures, or the same posture on each side, a couple more times. We're going to make it into a flow, and we're going to include a forward bend. So what it'll look like is with an inhale, you'll lean to a side and reach the arm over. With the exhale, you'll come back up. Then you'll reach the arms up, inhale, and then you'll exhale, fold forward. I'm doing this quickly. We'll do this much slower. Then you'll inhale, come up, and then you'll set up for the other side to inhale, reach. Okay? So let's go ahead and do that together with the knees still wide apart, arms by your sides. Inhale, reach the arms up. With your exhale, bring your left elbow or forearm down onto the thigh. Sweep the right arm behind you. Inhale, reach the right arm up and over, big length on that right side. Exhale, return to a tall seat. Inhale, lift both arms up. This time, hinge at the hips and fold forward down between the legs. Inhale, reverse that. Come right back up. And then exhale, right forearm down onto the thigh, left arm behind you. And then inhale, left arm reaching over. Good. And exhale, come back up. Both arms up, inhale. And exhale, fold. Reverse it, inhale back up. And exhale, left arm down. Reach the right arm up and over, big length. And exhale, return. Both arms inhale and fold forward. All the way up. And right arm down. Lift the left arm up and over. Exhale, return. We'll do a couple more times, all right? Both arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale back up, reach. Strong back coming up. Left arm down. Sweep the right arm up and over. And back. Both arms. And fold. Back up. And right arm down. Reach. And return. Good. One more time on each side. Both arms up, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, back up. Left arm down. Right arm sweeps. And return. Again, both arms lift, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. And come back up. Right arm down. And reach. And exhale, return. Both arms up. Folding forward. And come all the way up. And just release the arms down. Take a moment, feel sensation from moving the spine around a bit. Maybe you're starting to feel some heat in the body from getting the core engaged there, all that lifting and lowering. Good. And so, believe it or not, there's more we can do for the spine here. This is just a spine class. They get so tight. And so, many of you have done this with me before, but I'll quickly demonstrate it for you still. I'm going to bring my hands onto my thighs, and my fingers are pointing inward. And this just helps to kind of create hinges with my elbows. So, if I can move to side, there's some support there for me. I'm not throwing it all into my lower back. And so, I'm going to fold forward. And I'm just going to start to swing from side to side here. You might need to widen your legs a bit so that you feel stable doing so. And this can start off as small movements. And then after a while, you can make it a bit more dramatic. Swinging the shoulders around a bit. And we're just going to go for about a minute or so. Okay, so there's no really wrong way to do this. Just kind of find a movement that feels good for you. And again, that might be really expressive and also might be a bit more contained. All right. So again, hands on the thighs or knees, fingers pointing inward, just bend the elbows, folding down, and just start to move intuitively. Just swing from side to side. The head can be loose here or it can be in line with the spine. And just try to breathe as you do this. Maybe you don't fold as far forward. Maybe you only go a little bit forward. Maybe you start to move the shoulder blades around a bunch. Maybe they stay pretty stable. It's all up to you. Just unwinding and releasing tension in and around the spinal column. Breathe. Try to keep the hips grounded on the chair. Sometimes when we're swinging, we can almost throw ourselves off. So try to not do that. Go for about another 15 seconds or so. Good. And then begin to wind the movement down into just a normal forward fold here, folding between the legs. And let your chin drop in towards your throat so the back of the neck lengthens. You can just hold here. This is still helping to create a release in the neck. If you want to encourage that around a bit, you can kind of shake the head a bit, like shake the head no or nod yes or something in between. Just helping to coax some of that tension off of the neck. If that just makes you dizzy or it just doesn't feel good to you, just hold the head still. Breathe. Good. So if you are moving the head around, go ahead and bring it to stillness. If you're feeling a bit woozy, open your eyes and just stare at a single point for a moment and breathe. Now I've been hanging forward for a moment, so there might be another spell of dizziness. So just sit up with an inhale. You can keep the eyes closed for a moment, or again, if you're kind of feeling the room spinning, just open the eyes, focus to a single point, and then breathe deeply with that point. Good. All right, so now that our necks feel nice and good, we'll start to wind things down just a little bit here. So go ahead and bring the feet and knees into the narrower stance, hip width apart, heels stacking underneath, and have your arms by your side for a moment. And with your next inhale, reach the arms up and over, interlace the fingers when you get there, and then turn the palms away from your head, reaching through the palms and wrists. Good, nice big spinal extension here. Reaching up. And as you reach up, think about shrugging your tailbone under just a little bit here to engage the core, stabilizing the back. Good. Deep breath in, reach up. And exhale, release the arms on down, hands onto the thighs, and we'll come into a spinal flexion. So roll the shoulders down the back, turn the heart toward the ceiling, and stay. Now, if the neck is needing some support here, just shrug your shoulders up a bit. Kind of create the cradle for the neck. Good, and then shrug the shoulders up to help the neck back up. Deep breath in. And then please just fold down over the thighs one more time. All right, when you're ready, please sit up. Beautiful, beautiful job. Let's spend the last few moments we have together in meditation. So sliding to the back of your chair again, have the legs uncrossed, feet on the ground. And you can relax into your chair or you could sit up tall, whichever suits you best today. But take a deep breath in and out and let your eyes close, turning a bit more inward. And just start to feel the initial effects of the practice on your body. Feel the initial effects of the practice on your energetic state. Maybe you feel more awake, maybe not. And the initial effects of the practice on your mind. Maybe it's not moving around as much, or maybe it's moving around more. And then I'll ask you once again to become aware of your body's relationship to gravity, this force that pulls you toward the core of the planet. The feet on the ground, your seat in your chair. And a lot of times we try to work against this force as we move through the world. But right now, there's no need for that. And so you can relax a bit into that holding of gravity. You can let the shoulders drop further away from the ears. You can feel the belly soften. The legs relaxing. And just let yourself be held. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do. You can simply rest in this embrace. And know that even when you start to move around again, you might feel ungrounded or disconnected, that you can bring yourself to a state of stillness. And you can really know that there's support here. That you can really just let go into this hold of gravity. So for now, I'll have you take a deeper, fuller breath. Bring your palms together in front of you and rub the palms together, creating heat. Take the warm palms over your eyes, brushing over the top of the head, down your neck, and slowly bringing yourself back to the space. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope this was helpful. I hope that you learned something new and have a great weekend. I'll see you next time. Take care.